Mickelson's comment that golf is very lucky to have Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund invest in it set the golfing world on fire. Along with giving LIV golf players and purses a lot of money, it has also put $300 million into the Asian Tour. He later said that Saudi-backed tour is doing better than the PGA, which Rory McIlroy was very against. Beginning with Phil Mickelson's comments, he says LIV is on the rise and PGA Tour trending downward. Phil Mickelson said he was glad to be on the winning side and that he thinks the PGA Tour is going downhill. He also denied doing the famous interview with writer Alan Shipnuck. This is the first time Mickelson had been back in Saudi Arabia since he made negative comments about LIV Golf's funding. Mickelson said a month ago that the PGA Tour used to have all the best players in the world, but that would never be the case again. In a news conference for the LIV Golf Invitational Jeddah, which starts this Friday at Royal Greens in King Abdullah's economic city, he looked even better. I think you have to choose a side going forward. If you have to choose which side you think is going to win, Mickelson said, I'm sure that I'm on the right side of how professional golf is going to change and grow over the next few years. On LIV, we play against many of the best players in the world, and the PGA Tour has many of the best players in the world. And until both sides sit down, talk, and figure out a solution, both sides will continue to change and grow. I see that LIV Golf is getting better and the PGA Tour is getting worse, and I love the side I'm on. This comes after a very controversial press release earlier this year. Mickelson called the Saudis scary to get involved with. In an interview with Shipnuck, who in May published an unauthorized biography of Mickelson, we know they killed Washington Post reporter Jamal Khashoggi and have a terrible record on human rights. People are put to death there for being gay. Why would I even think about it now that I know all of this? Mickelson is quoted as saying, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to change how the PGA Tour works. 2 weeks after Mickelson took part in the Saudi Invitational at Royal Greens, the interview came out. Mickelson said in a statement released after the interview that his comments were not on the record and were given without any background. He said on Thursday, I've never talked to Alan Shipnuck. Everyone I've worked with at LIV Golf has been great, and I have the utmost respect for them all. We have to agree that LIV has been able to bring in some of the best golfers. Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, and Bryson DeChambeau are just some of the major champions who signed contracts with LIV Golf, which is backed by the Saudi government and is said to be worth around $125 million. There are 12 of the top 50 players in the world rankings who play for LIV Golf. The highest is British Open winner Cameron Smith at number 2, but most of them are outside of the top 25 because LIV Golf hasn't gotten world ranking points since it started in June. 19 of the top 20 stars are still on the PGA Tour. In 2023, the tour will start a new schedule that will bring the best players together 15 times a year to play for $20 million in prize money. Some of these changes are ones Mickelson has always wanted. The PGA Tour has banned him and other players who signed with LIV Golf, which is a main plaintiff in the lawsuit against unfair competition that will go to trial in January of 2024. Each week, 48 people play for $25 million in LIV Golf, and there is no cut after 54 holes. Dustin Johnson has already made more than $30 million, and he got an extra $18 million for winning the individual points race. Greg Norman, who is in charge of LIV Golf, saw Mickelson as his top recruiter, and it was his comments in February that showed the first year of LIV Golf. This summer has made clear the big divide in golf, with the PGA Tour and European Tour wanting no part of anyone who has signed to play with LIV Golf. Even though both the US Open and British Open spoke out against the rival league, the LIV Golf players were allowed to play if they were eligible. The Royal and Ancient asked Norman not to go to St. Andrews in July for the 150th anniversary celebration. Mickelson said, now the United States and the UK are not favorable to this, but LIV Golf is loved everywhere else in the world, and in the end, they will change their minds and accept it. Mickelson, who was 52 years old, signed with LIV Golf in June. This was a year after he won his 6th major title at the 2021 PGA Championship, making him the oldest major winner ever. In 6 LIV Golf tournaments, he has only had one top 10 finish, a tie for 8th outside of Chicago, 7 shots behind Smith. He says that LIV Golf has given him a new lease on life and made him eager to compete. I love being there. I like how they treat us so much. I love how they include us in decisions and listen to what we have to say, he said. I mean, it's so open to everyone. LIV Golf is in the lead, whether it's shorts or other parts of professional golf that are going to change and grow. LIV will be at the forefront of those changes. Well, Rory McIlroy disagrees with Phil Mickelson's PGA-LIV comment. Rory McIlroy understands why Phil Mickelson said that the LIV golf circuit is getting better and the PGA Tour is getting worse, but he doesn't agree with the 6-time major winner's assessment of the current state of men's professional golf. McIlroy said on Wednesday, before this week's CJ Cup at Congaree Golf Club, that he disagrees with what Phil said last week. I understand why he said it because of the position he's in, but I don't think that anyone that takes a logical view of the game of golf can agree with what he said. 15 of the top 20 golfers in the official World Golf golf ranking are in the field for the CJ Cup. At the moment, only Cameron Smith from Australia is ranked in the top 20. In the first 7 LIV events, golfers didn't get points based on where they came in. I guess for them to be talking the way they are, it's bold, said McIlroy, who won the CJ Cup in Las Vegas last year. I think there's a lot of propaganda and all kinds of other things going on. I don't think the PGA Tour is going in any bad direction. All the talent, or at least 95% of it, is here. People like Tom Kim, who is the future of our game, are coming through. Mickelson's friend and fellow former Arizona State star Jon Rahm from Spain also didn't like what he said to reporters last week at the LIV Golf Jeddah tournament in Saudi Arabia. The Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia is paying for the LIV Golf circuit, which is being led by Greg Norman, who has won the Open Championship twice. Rahm said, "Man, I love Phil, but I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not sure why he said that. I think the changes that are being made are great, both for the tour and for the players. I have no idea why he would say something like that." Mickelson said last Thursday that he was glad to be on the winning side of the split between the LIV Golf circuit and the PGA Tour. Finally, McIlroy tries to reclaim #1 and defend the title at CJ Cup. This week at the CJ Cup on the PGA Tour, 4-time major winner Rory McIlroy will try to reclaim the world #1 spot and defend his title on a brand new course. The 33-year-old from Northern Ireland tees off Thursday after a 2021-2022 season in which he won a record-tying 3rd FedEx Cup playoff title and finished in the top 8 at all 4 majors, including a runner-up finish at the Masters in his attempt to complete a career Grand Slam. McIlroy said, "Feeling pretty good about my game. 2 events left and I still feel like I have a little bit to play for. I put myself in a good position to try to get back to #1 in the world and to win the European Tour title. This time of year, there's still a lot to get excited about." McIlroy will try to do well in an event that moves from Las Vegas to the Congaree Golf Club in Ridgeland, South Carolina. This is about 100 miles, 161 kilometers southeast of the Masters course at Augusta National. To pass Scheffler as the #1 golfer in the world, McIlroy, who is currently ranked 2nd, must either win and have Scheffler finish worse than a 2-way tie for 2nd, or finish alone in 2nd place and have Scheffler finish worse than alone in 34th place. McIlroy plans to take 3 weeks off after the CJ Cup and then play in the final event of the European Tour in Dubai. The last time McIlroy was at the top of the rankings was in July of 2020, when the PGA's COVID-19 pandemic comeback happened. That is all the time we had for today. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, cheers.